Hello, I'm Jeremy Lyons, science teacher, and today I would like to talk to you about the literacies your children will explore during their time at school. In this presentation, I would like to explore with you three main points. What are 21st century literacies? And how have they changed since you, the parent, was at school? How will these literacies affect students socially and the world they live in? Also, how will these new modern literacies be used in a 21st century science classroom, and what changes will they bring? As defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, literacy is the ability to read and write, the knowledge of a particular subject, but the forms these literacies have traditionally taken were in written books and visual videos. These are unimodal, using one type of media. These unimodal types of media have been stagnated in the classroom. To quote Cope and Carlinatus, we live now in a world of iPods, wikis, blogs, and SMS messages. Not all were nameable a decade ago. Information now comes in multimodal settings, thus combining the five semitonic systems of audio, listening to a spoken text, linguistics, reading and writing, spatial, the understanding of how different objects are laid out, visual, watching a video, and gestural, which is using movement to interact with a text, all of which have changed the classroom in a large way. By allowing students access to the ability to create multimodal literacies, not only are our children retaining more, but are translating those skills into usable ideas in the future. CARB 2013 backs up this idea with their multi-literacy study, in which 64 of all students who took part had preferred using multimodal literacies over their unimodal counterparts, stating they were able to make more meaning from the text than in a shorter amount of time, which is great for our students as time is precious in the 21st century. Due to the fact that one student may learn best visually and another through gestural movement, by having both learning styles in one text benefits both students. Inside and out of the classroom, multiliteracies have had a profound effect on how we proceed in our social interactions. Outside the classroom, students are hopping onto the internet, reading and sharing memes, and watching YouTube videos on a scale that's never been seen before.
A very significant impact in the classroom instruction. I'll give you an example. In a classroom of 40, it is really impossible to get 40 students to ask 40 questions at one go. When we use the instant messaging tool, we open 40 windows to 40 kids. They could ask 40 questions at the same time, and the teacher could see their thinking on the technology tool that they use. And kids get more excited because they are using the tools that they are very, very good in using, not just the pen and the pencil.
With social media working into the classroom, as shown in the previous video, teachers can now ask the whole class on their opinions to given texts. Then, as a class, they are able to comment. This allows the teacher to gauge and assess individual digestion of texts. With this media, not only are students engaging in a more open setting, as I'm sure you can imagine how 40 students yelling out their opinions would go, but students can now socially engage with their peers and the teacher, even if they are not outspoken normally. This feedback and opinions from other students helps their peers engage with the text information and their own meaning making. Now I'm sure that you've heard your child speak of multiple new memes each week. This new social trend is an important social literacy technique that combines both visual and linguistic systems to convey a central idea. The consumption of these memes between friends allows people to find humor and an understanding in the unlimited social interactions we run into every day. Due to the high speed of the internet, these images can be built up by individuals or groups of people, affecting the social interactions they have in the classroom. With the turn of the century and the new wave of new literacies, for example, virtual reality and interactive whiteboards, we must now think, how will these be integrated into your child's classroom? Well, this idea was brought to the limelight over 20 years ago when the internet was still in its infancy by the New London Group. This group proposed the multi-literacies framework, which included situated practice, overt instruction, critical farming, and transformed practice. As the New London Group had devised 4 equally important frames, all of which that encouraged multi-literacies to be incorporated to modern teaching. These are situated practice, where teachers will ask the experiences of students so knowledge and opinions can be shared. Overt instruction, where our teachers identify what information a classroom may be lacking in and provides crucial understandings within that subject. Crucial farming, where students are encouraged to ask questions and explore text further in a social and cultural context. Transform practice, where students are pushed to show what they have learned and apply into various situations. As a teacher, combining both New London Group's framework and a multi-literacies is not only beneficial for students, but can be readily achieved. For an example, an interactive video can be used where a student is working through a subject. They will have their information explained to them, but through interactive feedback of the video, students will be given more information from the parts that they do not understand. By combining the three prior systems, visual, audio, and gestural. Another important part of the New London Group's framework is their transformed practice. In science, this can be actively achieved through practical experiments. The child will take what they've learned and actively manipulate the laboratory to show how theories work in practice. To incorporate multiliteracy, students are able to write scientific reports, adding in videos to visually show complex ideas. This not only takes the stress of writing a method which may not be clear to the reader, but also shows the skills they have learned and achieved. The part of the brain that takes information from our eyes is much larger than any sense. So for students to visualize what they are doing in the laboratory makes it easier for teachers to understand what skills the students are proficient in. 21st literacies have changed from our childhood days of reading books and watching videos to a wonderful mix of the far in between. Our social lives have changed with the fast and easy transfer of ideas, in the way which we use literacies have greatly improved with the wonderful work of the New London Group. Thank you for listening.